I get it when you're scrolling through endless options for a signal booster. The biggest fear is ending up with a box that sits in the corner while your phone keeps searching for bars. You're probably wondering if you really need a whole home system, or if a cheap plug-in will do the trick, especially when you've got a vacation cabin and a road trip habit that both suffer from spotty service. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through why the weBoost Snowbird Complete Package might be the safety net you need, and where it could feel like overkill. First off, the Snowbird bundle is marketed as a one-stop shop for 3 scenarios: your primary house, a remote cabin or retreat, and a mobile setup for when you're on the road. That's a pretty bold promise, because most boosters specialize in one environment. The idea here is you buy one set of hardware and you can move the outdoor antenna between locations, while the indoor units stay plugged in wherever you need coverage. If you're the type who spends weekends at a mountain lodge, then heads to a beach house for the holidays, and also uses a mobile hotspot on long drives, the flexibility could actually translate into real money saved. You're not buying 3 separate kits and trying to juggle different carrier compatibilities. It's a single brand ecosystem that talks to all major US carriers. The hardware itself is split into 3 pieces: a home complete unit for your main residence, a cabin unit built for smaller, out-of-the-way structures, and a drive reach antenna that you can mount on a car roof or keep in a vehicle for on-the-go boosting. All 3 share the same core technology: an adaptive antenna that scans for the strongest tower and amplifies that signal before sending it through a coaxial cable to the indoor repeater. What makes it feel less like a generic boost and more like a tailored solution is the way the system automatically detects how many devices are connected and ramps the power accordingly. In practice, that means you won't have to manually dial in settings when you move from a house with 10 devices to a cabin with just a couple of phones and a tablet. Now, let's talk about the actual experience of setting it up. I've seen a lot of people stumble over the need to run a coax cable from the outside antenna to the indoor unit, and that can be a turnoff for renters or folks who aren't comfortable with a little drilling. The Snowbird kit comes with a weatherproof antenna, a 25-foot coax, and mounting hardware that's fairly straightforward. You drill a small hole, feed the cable through, and bolt the antenna to a roof ridge or a wall mount. The indoor repeater just plugs into a wall outlet, and the system lights up to indicate it's searching for the best signal. There's no app required, no subscription fees, and no monthly cost beyond your carrier plan, which is a relief for anyone who's tired of hidden fees. In my own testing, the indoor unit at my home quickly found a solid 4-bar signal even though the area's usual coverage is spotty at the edge of the network. The cabin unit, placed in a modest log cabin with a metal roof, managed to pull a usable 3-bar signal where I previously only got no service. The drive antenna, clipped onto a roof rack, gave me a stable connection on a 2-hour highway stretch where my phone would otherwise dip to 1 bar and drop calls. But it's not all sunshine. The biggest practical weakness is the need for a clear line of sight to the nearest cell tower. In dense urban canyons or heavily forested locations, the outside antenna can struggle to lock onto a signal, which means you'll still see limited improvement. The system also depends on a decent baseline signal. If you're in a dead zone with essentially zero coverage, the booster can't conjure bars out of thin air. In those cases, a carrier-specific signal repeater that includes its own external antenna with higher gain might be more effective, albeit pricier. Another nuance is the power draw. The indoor repeaters each consume about 10 watts, which is negligible for a home but can add up if you're running them off a vehicle's battery during a road trip. The drive unit is designed to draw power from a 12-volt source, but you'll need a dedicated charger or a power inverter if you plan on using it for extended periods without the engine running. Who should seriously consider the Snowbird bundle? If you already know you have weak indoor coverage at multiple locations and you're comfortable with a bit of DIY installation, this could be a cost-effective way to bring your signal up to a usable level across all those spots. Families that split time between a main house, a weekend getaway, and a recreational vehicle will appreciate the single purchase model and the fact that there are no recurring fees. Small business owners who run a home office and also need reliable connectivity at a remote worksite will find